What up, you nerds? Fallout here, and I unlocked every weapon, stratagem, and piece of armor in the brand new DUST DEVILS Warbond in Helldivers so I could review everything and let you know if it's worth getting or not. Starting off with the Speargun. It is not a primary weapon, but I don't think that'll surprise anybody. It takes up a stratagem, and when you call it down, it lives in your heavy weapon slot. You fire one shot at a time, which does moderate damage, and it also detonates a tiny gas cloud on impact. As the stratagem preview shows you, it can also penetrate through enemies, which is nice. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, even though it looks hilarious and is very fun to use, I would not call the Speargun incredibly meta or a must-have stratagem or anything like that. It definitely does have its uses. I enjoy firing it into small crowds of enemies so the gas can make them all freak out and start attacking each other. A very fun weapon to use overall. It can take out automaton hulks pretty well, provided you shoot them in their tiny little face. It's an enjoyable weapon. Other than the Hulk though, against larger, heavier enemies, which there are many in the game, I found myself greatly missing other stratagems that I feel handle the job way easier. On Terminid enemies, I found myself really missing my Quasar cannon, which handles chargers, bile titans, and impalers almost too easily. Against automatons, the recoilless rifle IMO is a borderline cheat code at this point, even on higher difficulty. Even the beefiest automaton threats get completely demolished by the double R, and at this point I almost feel naked without it. Again, I don't think the Speargun is bad. It's certainly very fun, and if you want to harpoon enemies or troll them with toxic gas, then yeah, go for it. It'll probably get the job done, but I'm not gonna sit here and pretend it's god tier and you need to use it. I think at the end of the day, it's just a fun, good time, but not hard meta. Moving on, why don't we chat about the Expendable Napalm? What we have here is basically a napalm variant of the EAT, aka the Expendable Anti-Tank. They each give you 2 launchers per drop, which is good, but whereas the Expendable Anti-Tank is designed to blast through heavy armored enemies, the Expendable Napalm seems like it was designed for just fire on demand. Like literally actually fire all over the area on demand. And like the Speargun, I definitely had a bunch of fun using it, and I think it is a decent crowd control option. You can fire it into any general mob of enemies and giggle with delight as the kill counter goes up and up. However, good old fun police Fallout coming in swinging one more time. I think if you want to have fun and lean into the haha fire is awesome power fantasy, good, please be the best little pyromaniac you can possibly be, but I definitely found myself really missing the EAT in comparison. I think the ability to punch through heavy armored enemies is way more valuable in high-level play than the ability to dish out low-level crowd control. I know we're comparing apples and oranges here, but the Expendable Napalm cooldown is around 2 minutes, which ain't bad, but the EAT cooldown is 1 minute, which is crazy fast. I think I'd rather have the EAT and roll with a primary weapon that can dish out great crowd control like the Eruptor or the Crossbow. But again, if maybe your team is already well prepared for heavy armor and you need good crowd control, Expendable Napalm is a not bad option. Next up, we have the G7 Pineapple Throwable Grenade. Now, before you get the impression that the entire Warbond is terrible, because I'm warning you, I'm about to kind of shit on this grenade real quick. I want you to know that the last 2 options are actually very awesome, so don't think the entire Warbond is hot garbage. The G7 Pineapple IMO is not good. It can only break light armor and deals 300 damage. By comparison, the G6 Frag, aka the default grenade option, can break medium armor, has 500 damage by comparison, and you get 5 of them instead of just 3. So why use the Pineapple? Well, as the game tells you, it inflicts damage over a larger area, so it's more of a light crowd control grenade option. I think if you really desperately need more crowd control, then sure, the Pineapple is an option. But again, just being honest, I feel like there are way better crowd control options out there. So use what you like, but personally, I find that the Pineapple to be maybe the weakest option in the new Warbond. Moving on, like I mentioned, now we get to my 2 favorite options in the new Warbond, starting with the Solo Silo. Here's how it works. Throw down the stratagem, and now you'll have a missile waiting for your command and 100% ready to go at the drop of a hat. All you have to do is pick up the tiny little laser hand cannon that it gives you, and whenever you're ready, aim the tiny laser at an enemy to paint the target, and boom. Basically, whatever target you're painting will immediately be sent Straight to God. Now, while extremely fun, we have to talk about the very obvious downside of using the solo silo. Basically, the tiny little laser pistol that you need to paint the target lives in your heavy weapon slot, meaning if you're holding the tiny laser pistol, you cannot also be holding a quasar, an EAT, a recoilless rifle, a laser cannon, or any of the other extremely good heavy weapons currently in the game right now. In short, this is basically a 500 kg bomb on demand that also happens to live in your heavy weapon slot. So the question becomes, why use the silo and not a 500 kg bomb? Two reasons: convenience and range. After you've called in the silo, all you need to do is just paint the target and then bam, whatever you're pointing at, problem solved immediately. It happens right away, no fumbling with stratagem inputs in the heat of the moment, and no need to worry about throwing your 500 kg bomb very far if the target is extremely far away. The silo has much further range and again packs a crazy wallop. Another benefit of using the silo is that after you call one in, your stratagem timer for your next silo begins counting down right away, even though you may not have even detonated your first silo yet. Check it out right here. In this example, my cooldown timer for my next silo is now done and ready to go, but I still have the laser pistol for my first silo. I haven't used it yet. Definitely very handy for sure. Again, as long as you can live with the downside of having your heavy weapon slot be used up, this is an incredible stratagem. For small map defensive missions, you could technically leave the laser pistol on the ground, saving it for an oh shit moment, and then pick it up when you need it and eliminate a huge threat right away. Extremely fun, very lethal. I like it a lot. But for the love of God, make sure that when you call down the solo silo to put it somewhere safe and tucked out of the way. The rocket can go across the map really fast. Don't worry about putting it out in the open or near combat or anything like that. You gotta protect it. You gotta put it somewhere safe, because if it breaks, you lose it. And man, that is wildly depressing. Very quick and annoying note, by the way. We have confirmation that the silo cannot destroy stratagem jammers, which does seem like a big pile of bullshit, because why? But oh well, it is still a fun and hard-hitting stratagem. Before we get to the final weapon in the stratagem, why don't we talk about armor? We have both the DS-42 Federation Blade Heavy Armor and the DS-191 Scorpion Medium Armor. The armor trait is Desert Stormer. It gives 40% resistance to fire, gas, acid, and electrical damage. You also improve your throwing range by 20%, which is a nice cherry on top. Overall, this is actually a good armor choice, as it lets you take straight up less damage from common things. Automatons are notoriously annoying for lighting you on fire. Looking at you, Hulks. Terminids have plenty of annoying acid attacks, and certain Illuminate, and fellow Helldivers too, I guess, can occasionally hit you with electric damage. Reducing all of that by 40% is quite nice. That being said, even after all this time, I still firmly believe that Democracy Protects is straight up one of the best armor passives in the game, and if I'm going all out, I'm probably gonna roll with that instead. Still though, not bad, cool trait overall. Okay, the final weapon to talk about is the one that everybody is talking about, and that is the AR-2 Coyote Assault Rifle. This weapon, available on page 1 of the Warbond, by the way, is quite literally insane. It doesn't hit as hard as other ARs, rocking a 75 impact compared to some very heavy hitters like the Adjudicator or the Tenderizer, but it can penetrate medium armor, and the rounds are incendiary, meaning you can light targets on fire. This weapon puts in major work against every faction in the game, and the overall community consensus right now is, holy lord, I hope Arrowhead doesn't nerf this gun. I don't often use ARs, but this thing is just straight up built different. Speaking only for me, I now rank it in the high tier of primary weapons in the game, along with my other personal favorites, which are in no particular order: the Cookout, the Eruptor, the Crossbow, and the Purifier. So congratulations, Coyote, aka the surprising 5th head on my Mount Rushmore of Helldivers primary weapons. Overall, I think if you straight up wanted to spend your hard-earned super credits on this Warbond just for the solo silo and the Coyote alone, literally no one would blame you. The silo is hilarious at hardcore dunking on any single target you'll you want, and the Coyote is an absolute workhorse of a primary weapon that will guarantee you tons of usage on any faction. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours down in the comment section regarding the new Warbond, whether you recommend it or not, and why. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.